The first kill in Smile 2 comes in the first few minutes when we see Joel 6 days after the events of the first movie infected with the parasite. He goes up to a guy and holds him at gunpoint. He forces the man to bring him inside his home to meet his brother, who's a drug dealer and a murderer. It seems that Joel wants to pass on the parasite to these criminals, but things take a wrong turn when Joel kills one of the men. Then he gets into a shootout with the other man, causing Joel to fatally shoot him. He finds another man hiding in the room. Joel is hesitant about killing him, so he tries to leave, but when he opens the front door, he sees the other criminal members approaching the house, and when they spot Joel, they chase him throughout the house. So Joel tries to find another way to escape without being killed by them. He escapes through a window in a storage room. The men shoot at him but miss, and as Joel is crossing the street, he gets hit by a truck that's driving really fast and it kills him. We cut to our main character, Sky Riley, just a few days after Joel's death. Sky is a very famous pop singer who has a history of drug addiction, as well as being involved in a car accident that caused the death of her boyfriend Paul. It's been over years since the accident and she is preparing to go on a world tour, but she is still suffering from the loss of her boyfriend and her pain from the accident. All that trauma and pain has caused her to relapse, and when she's trying to obtain drugs from an old dealer friend who's the same guy that Joel found hiding in the beginning of the movie, so I'm guessing he got infected with a parasite. Sky witnesses Lewis get possessed by the entity. He then bashes his head with the weight plate, and in a really brutal way. If you want to see it fully unblurred, join the Patreon to see all the kills fully unblurred. It's insane. It's so gruesome. Click the link in the description. Sky watches Lewis bash his head in and does nothing. She thinks about calling the police, but she doesn't want them to see all the drugs that are in the apartment, so she just leaves. The next day, she starts having visions of Lewis, which causes her to freak out. With all these hallucinations causing Sky to get paranoid, she calls an old friend, Gemma, over to keep her company. The next day, after a music rehearsal, she goes to her dressing room where she finds it to be completely trashed and torn apart. She blames it on her assistant, but her mom doesn't believe her. She thinks she's doing drugs again. Days later, Sky goes to a foundation event where she is a guest speaker, and during her speech, her teleprompter gets stuck. So she starts to improvise a little bit, making everyone in the room feel uncomfortable. When the teleprompter starts working again, she reads it and unknowingly says the name of her ex-boyfriend Paul, causing the whole room full of people to be disturbed. She starts to hallucinate Paul walking towards her. She freaks out, screaming at him. Then after closing her eyes and reopening them, Paul is gone, but he jump scares her, causing Sky to push this old lady onto a table. And don't worry, the lady is still alive. Partly traumatized and badly injured, but she's still alive. When she then receives a text from an unknown number of a person that knows she was at the apartment when Lewis died. The unknown person knows what's going on with her and says he can help her. They plan to meet up at a bar. When she meets him, he tells her what we all know, that she's been infected with the parasite after witnessing the death of Lewis. The reason he knows about the parasite is because his brother had it a while ago and it killed him. And he tells her she will die soon, and whoever sees her die will be the next one infected. The man says he thinks he knows a way to remove the parasite, but she doesn't believe him, so she freaks out and just decides to leave the area. And after she goes home and finishes packing up her suitcase, she hallucinates a group of people who chase her throughout her apartment. This is part of the creepiest and coolest scene of the whole movie. When they capture her, they enter her body. She then gets knocked out and wakes up in her bed. Her mother tells her she hit her head and got knocked out. Sky tries to persuade her mother that she has to get out of bed and leave the area, but her mother demands that she stay. Her mother then begins to creepily smile at her, breaking a mirror before grabbing a piece of glass and stabbing herself with it, dying in the process. You might be wondering why the kill counter hasn't changed. Just wait, trust me, just wait. Sky tries to leave the room, but she sees a piece of glass in her hand, leading her to believe she is the one who killed her mother. So she covers the blood on her with a sweater. When she leaves the room and exits the lobby, she meets her friend Gemma outside, so Sky steals a car. Then her friend decides to join her and drive the car. As they are driving away, Sky texts the man from the bar where they can meet up so he can help her get rid of the parasite. She then receives a phone call from her friend Gemma, who is driving. She becomes worried and confused and answers it, only to learn that she had been hallucinating her friend throughout the entire movie. Kind of a disappointing twist, I guess. She turns to her friend driving when her friend begins to creepily smile at her, revealing that Sky is driving and no one is with her. She arrives to the location where the man is waiting for her. They enter an abandoned pizza hut and they enter the freezer where he has Sky lie down onto a table to prepare for the procedure. He leaves the room to grab something, and when he's gone, Sky starts to hallucinate herself in the ceiling. She gets attacked by her hallucination. She tries to call for the man to come back to help her, but nothing happens. Where all of a sudden she is transported onto the stage at her concert. So this part's confusing because what was real and what wasn't. Feels rushed in my opinion, but when she's on stage, she looks into the crowd and sees her mother and her assistant waving at her. See, I told you to trust me. Her mother didn't die. So don't go spamming in the comments to add her to the kill count. I'm not. Sky also sees another hallucination of herself on stage. She sees this huge entity crawl out of her fake body and enter the body of Sky, and another really cool effect, just like the first movie, but in this one they cut away and don't show much more. Why are they trying to blue ball us? I want to see the whole effect, it's so cool. But we cut to a shot of what the crowd sees, and all they see is Sky spazzing out on the floor. Sky gets back up and turns to the crowd with a big smile on her face. Then she grabs the microphone and bashes her head with it. They don't show it. They do show the reaction of the crowd, and we also do get to see her body afterwards. The finale kind of seemed predictable in my opinion. I knew as soon as I watched the trailer months ago the ending was going to be her ending herself in front of her fans at a concert. So I'm curious if there will be a third one and how it will turn out, because thousands of people are now infected with the parasite after witnessing Sky end herself. We had 7 kills in Smile 2, 6 males and 1 female. The golden hammer for the best kill goes to Lewis, who bashed his head with a 35-pound weight plate. Pretty cool and brutal kill. The silver pistol for the worst kill goes to Sky. Yes, to be honest, kind of disappointing they didn't show the kill and only cut to the reaction of the crowd. It seemed like there would have been a cool kill, so kind of a lackluster kill. Comment your favorite kills and your thoughts on the movie. Please like and subscribe to Movie Gods to be a movie god. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.